Before we get into this wild and heated update, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a single second of breaking Dodgers news, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the most explosive stories to come out of the Los Angeles Dodgers locker room all season. Fans, insiders, and even players are whispering the same thing. Shohei Ohtani didn't just speak up, he went off, and the tension right now inside the clubhouse is something the Dodgers have not felt in years. This isn't a small disagreement, this isn't a quiet conversation, this isn't even a heated discussion, this is a full-on eruption that has left the entire team in panic mode. It all started after a frustrating stretch of games where the Dodgers looked flat, out of rhythm, and completely disconnected. You could feel something was bubbling under the surface. Ohtani has been carrying more weight on his shoulders than almost anyone in baseball. He's expected to hit like an MVP, play like a superstar, represent the franchise on and off the field, and essentially be the face of the Dodgers' future. And when things started falling apart, the pressure finally hit a breaking point. Multiple insiders described it as unlike anything we've ever seen from Ohtani. This is a player who is calm, composed, respectful, and always under control. So, for him to explode? You know something serious went down. According to what has circulated through the clubhouse, Ohtani was visibly irritated after the game. Not the quiet kind of irritation, this was pacing, breathing hard, shaking his head, slamming his batting gloves onto the bench, and refusing to sit down. Teammates knew something was off. Even Mookie Betts reportedly tried to check in, but Ohtani was laser-focused on the coaches' meeting happening in the back. And when he marched into that room, the energy shifted instantly. Some players described the moment as the loudest they've ever heard him in a team setting. The issue wasn't just one decision. It wasn't just one inning. It wasn't even about Ohtani personally. This eruption was about the team, the strategy, and the growing frustration that has been building for weeks. Ohtani reportedly confronted the Dodgers coaching staff about what he felt were poor in-game decisions, lack of adjustments, and a complete failure to capitalize on crucial moments. He questioned why certain players were put in positions that didn't suit their strengths. He challenged the batting order changes that felt random. He demanded to know why the team preparation didn't match the urgency of opponents who were clearly hungrier, sharper, and more aggressive. The room went silent. And then it heated up. According to one source, Ohtani raised his voice more than once, and at one point, even banged his fist on the table. That alone shocked the entire staff. Ohtani doesn't do theatrics. He doesn't do ego. He doesn't do anger. So when he does, it sends a message. And that message was simple: he's had enough. The Dodgers absolutely must change their approach or risk spiraling into a disastrous stretch that could damage their season. He reportedly told the coaches that the players were losing trust in the direction the team was going. He said the strategies weren't matching the intensity of high-stakes baseball, and the lack of urgency was unacceptable for a team built to win championships. The most shocking part of the confrontation was when Ohtani called out the coaching staff for what he considered unprepared and predictable game plans. That line, according to reports, hit hard. Some staff members tried to push back, explaining their reasoning and defending their decisions, but Ohtani didn't back down. He demanded clarity, accountability, and immediate changes. One insider claimed the tension was so heavy that the room felt like it might explode at any second. Players outside the room could hear it. That's how intense it was. And when the door opened, you could feel the shock throughout the clubhouse. Ohtani walked out first, stone-faced, silent, and carrying the energy of someone who had just reached his limit. The coaches followed behind him, looking stunned, shaken, and unsure of what the next step should be. Some players said they had never seen their staff look that rattled before. From that moment on, panic mode kicked in for the Dodgers. The front office got involved. Private meetings happened instantly. Coaches started reviewing game plans, rotations, lineups, everything. Players whispered among themselves, trying to piece together what happened. Some felt Ohtani was absolutely right. Others worried this kind of confrontation could fracture the team. And yet others believe this might be exactly what the Dodgers needed, a wake-up call from the one guy who rarely loses his cool. You could feel the energy shift in the clubhouse. Some players suddenly became more serious, more locked in, more focused. Others looked tense, especially those who suspected Ohtani's anger may have been partially directed at them. And the coaches? They were scrambling, knowing that when your biggest superstar calls you out publicly inside the locker room, you can't just shrug it off. The front office began monitoring reactions, responding to internal feedback, and preparing for possible lineup changes. Some insiders believe this incident could lead to major adjustments, including shifting roles, altering strategies, and even changing coaching responsibilities. A confrontation of this magnitude forces organizations to look inward. If Ohtani, someone who rarely speaks out, is sounding the alarm, something deeper is going on. What makes this story even more compelling is that Ohtani wasn't yelling about personal frustrations. He wasn't demanding special treatment. He wasn't asking for attention. He was demanding excellence from the coaches, from his teammates, and from himself. He wants wins. He wants championships. He wants effort and precision. That's why this eruption carries so much weight. It wasn't emotional. It was necessary. Teammates reportedly respected the hell out of him afterward. A few players even said we needed that. Others admitted they felt embarrassed because if Ohtani, one of the hardest working, most disciplined players in baseball, is losing trust in the team's direction, that means everyone needs to step up. Suddenly practices became sharper. Film sessions became more intense. Discussions became more honest. The coaches, too, understood the message. Some of them stayed up late reviewing game footage, re-evaluating lineups, questioning decisions, and searching for better solutions. They know all eyes are on them now. One poor game plan can reignite the tension instantly. One mismanaged moment could lead to deeper issues. And the Dodgers cannot afford that, not with their roster, not with their expectations, and certainly not with a player like Shohei Ohtani willing to demand accountability from the highest levels. The biggest fear inside the organization right now is simple. Will this confrontation bring the team together or drive it further apart? Panic mode doesn't always mean disaster. Sometimes panic mode is exactly what elevates a team's focus. But it also means pressure is at an all-time high. A misstep now could snowball into more locker room tension, more frustration, and more uncertainty. But if there's one thing everyone agrees on, it's this: Ohtani woke something up inside the Dodgers. He sent a message that mediocrity will not be tolerated. He's here to win, and anyone who isn't fully committed to that mission is going to feel the heat. As we head into the next stretch of games, all eyes will be on the Dodgers. Will the team respond with energy, unity, and fire? Or will the tension behind closed doors create cracks that become impossible to hide? One thing is certain: this story isn't over. And if Ohtani's eruption was just the beginning, the Dodgers might be heading into one of the most defining moments of their season. If you're a Dodgers fan or just someone following this insane storyline, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this explosive situation. More updates are coming, and you won't want to miss what happens next.